Hey Kinta and Amy, it's Tuesday! What are the most important questions in life? Albert Camus asked, is life worth living? For me, a more basic question, a more important question than that is actually, what is happiness? How can we be happy? Because what's even the point of living if you are not happy? There are many different ideas of happiness. It could be that happiness is just injecting into your veins sex, it's injecting rock and roll, it is injecting alcohol, it is injecting all those pleasures and vices, it is being continuously on heroin and opium, and perhaps that is happiness. Or maybe happiness is something else. What if happiness is actually faith, believing in something greater than the self, believing in an ideal, an abstract, something which can motivate you to something greater? Or perhaps the Beatles were right all along and happiness is actually a warm gun. I like that one there, but actually, let me give you my interpretation of it. For me, happiness is memory. It is when you go out into the streets and you go to your city, town, country, and you go everywhere and you realize that everything gives you a happy memory. For example, I really like the Beatles. I actually think about the time I was in my dad's car listening to the Beatles, and that is such a happy memory for me. That every time I listen to the Beatles, I think about that time and it makes me happy. And yes, the Beatles I value for their skill, but the reason why I really like that band is because it makes me happy. Regardless on the skill, some of the most skillful bands I've ever seen don't make me happy in the same way, and that all has to do with memory. So when I go out into the streets, I remember all the things that happened there. I remember the first kiss. I remember the holding hands there. I remember punching that guy there because he annoyed me, and all those things make me happy. But it also works the other way too. Everything can make you sad. You go to a place and you remember the time that you got hit because you annoyed a person. When something like that happens, you usually avoid a place. You want to avoid unhappy memories. But for me, happiness is constantly seeing all the happy memories. But even then, as time goes on, I think of the different places where I've been, and I think of Ottawa. And Ottawa, I had lots of happy memories, lots of sad memories too. But for me, those memories aren't really sad anymore. They are now bittersweet. I go there and I think of what happened. And although it is sad, I am not saddened, if you know what I mean. I can still think about that, and I don't regret how it came out, but I do look at that as something that affected me. But not necessarily that it affected me bad, it just affected me. And I can almost be happy that it affected me, even though it was a sad memory. So what is happiness? Well, if memory serves me right, happiness is going out and creating those happy memories. You need to go out and be with people and do all the things that make you happy. You need to do them in every spot. You know what you need to do? You need to unleash your inner happy monster. Because everyone has a monster inside, but everyone believes for some reason that that monster is dark and brooding and scary. But the monster inside of you is never the happy one. But we all have that happy monster too. I want that happy monster to go out and hug people. I want you to go out onto the bus and just talk to the person beside you. Because you are sharing into some human moment. There is a time when you who have never met the other person who has never met you are finally sharing a bus together. And you can be happy in that fact. Better said, you have all those happy moments which make you a happy person because of the accumulation of them. Pleasure for me is not the right kind of happiness. To me, I always saw it as a vessel, a jug that has holes in it. And you fill it with water, but it never completely fills up. You constantly have to put more and more in it. It's like the Hobbesian idea, you know? The only way to be happy is to follow your inclination, but I've always been more for the Nietzschean idea. Something is worth only the amount of effort it takes to get it, and being happy and creating those happy memories does take effort. But the reason why we like that happiness, the reason why that happiness is worth more than the pleasurable happiness is because you have worked hard to get it. You have created that. You have created it out of substance, out of air. You are self-actualizing yourself in it. You are putting yourself into the world, and every time you go into the world, you see a mark of what you have done. You walk to that tree and you see the heart with your name and that other person's name, and that makes you happy. Even if the breakup turned out pretty bad, you still look upon that memory as a happy one. Bittersweet, but happy. Amy, I'll see you Monday. Kinta, I'll see you Thursday.